I asked Alberto Alvarez to go through with me all the things that he did during the period of time that he was in the room. And we know from Alberto Alvarez's phone records that he had a 5-second call to Michael Amir, he had a 6-second call to Michael Amir, and an 88-second call to Michael Amir. So just giving him this is all at 12:18. So just giving him the benefit of the doubt. Just saying it's 12:18:000 when he started making these phone calls. And we know that's not true because Michael Amir's phone records reflect something different. But let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. All right. I'm telling you, I'm just learning this yesterday, so bear with me. All right, thanks. 12:18:11, 2 phone calls, 5 and 6 seconds. 12:18:11 is when he would have gotten hold of Michael Amir. 88 seconds later is 12:19:39. We know from the records that we subpoenaed from Beverly Hills that the 911 call went out at 12:20:21. 42 seconds, this is what... All right, hang on. This is what Alberto Alvarez said he did. Up on the landing, he hangs up the phone. He walks through the landing, through the foyer, into the room. He's in shock. He reaches, Dr. Murray says to him, "We need an ambulance. Get an ambulance." He reaches for his phone. The children come in. Paris and Prince are both upset. Paris is hysterical. Dr. Murray says, "Get them out of here. Don't let them see their father like this." He walks the children through the foyer to the door. He comforts the children. He said, and I'm sure you have notes of this, he said, "Please, children, everything's going to be okay." I asked him, "You didn't push him, did you?" "No, you care about those kids." "Yes." He walks back in through the foyer to the door. He closes the door behind him. He asked Dr. Murray what happened. Dr. Murray says he had a bad reaction. He had a bad reaction. He said he surveyed the room. He was frozen, is what he said. Then he said he picked up the plastic bag. Dr. Murray supposedly handed him vials. Why he was in the middle of the bed, he didn't explain, but Dr. Murray had to reach over and hand him vials. He picked up a plastic bag. He put the plastic bag inside a brown bag that was on the floor. He walked to the IV stand, took off the IV bag, put the IV bag in another blue bag that was on the other side of the bed by that chair, and then he made his 911 call. And I asked him, "You think you could do that in 30 seconds? And he said, "I'm efficient." That was his response. It's not efficient, it's impossible. Because he didn't tell the truth. But the prosecution doesn't care, because this is the foundation, the genesis of their bottle in a bag theory. That's the foundation. It starts with Alberto Alvarez, the 2-month later statement that there was a bottle in a bag. But there's more problems with their theory. There's more problems. You see, here's the problem. Elisa Fleek never mentioned a bottle in a bag. She took, in the notes that she didn't destroy, there is no mention of a bottle in a bag. There are no photos of a vial in a bag. None. There is nothing in her chronology. The notes that she supposedly takes to show what's been happening in the investigation of the case. Nothing. In her investigative summary, which is a report, she talks about the lamp on the table, but never mentions a vial in a bag. For the first time, while this is being ready for preliminary hearing, 18 months later, all of a sudden, there's a bottle in a bag. 18 months later. There's no notes of it. She just conveniently remembered. I want you to remember Detective Smith. You know, I don't know how you feel about LAPD. I don't have any experience with LAPD. But I can tell you my experience with Detective Smith and Detective Myers and Detective Martinez. They are consummate professionals, excellent at what they do. They did an outstanding job investigating this case. They took notes on every single issue. They prepared evidence and presented it on every single issue. Now, we called some of them, I understand. You didn't hear from all of them, but you did hear from Detective Smith. And do you remember when Detective Smith took the stand? He sat up there, and he wasn't going to play ball on this vial in a bag theory. He wasn't going to do it. And when I asked him straight on, Detective Smith, was there a bottle in the bag? Not that I saw. And when I showed him his notes, where he methodically took notes of everything that came out of the bags that were found in the closet, everything, from beginning to end. I showed him that he even put in his notes that he found a lorazepam bottle in a bag that holds an IV bag. That's how methodical he was. And he made no notes of a vial in a bag. Not one. Because he didn't see it, because it wasn't there. Let's fast forward to April of 2011. 2 weeks before the very first trial setting, they bring in Alberto Alvarez for an interview, for a conversation about his testimony. And Alberto Alvarez, on the 31st, on the left, draws that picture of what he saw on the stand. And in April of 2011, he draws that picture of the IV bag. And Detective Martinez told you that he brought all of the bags, all of the vials, all of the tubing, everything to this meeting at the district attorney's office. Everything. But the only thing they showed, Alberto Alvarez, was this bag, cut IV bag, and this vial, People's 30. Now, what do you think? What conversation do you think took place in that room that day? You think Alberto Alvarez isn't going to play ball? You think he doesn't know what they're asking him? And so, the theory is solidified. There was a vial in a bag. That's how there was a drip. There was a vial in the bag. And why is it that the prosecution needs a drip? Because if Dr. Murray did what he said he did, there was no danger to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was not going to die. And it doesn't matter whether you leave the room and you go outside and play basketball, or you leave the house, or you make phone calls. It doesn't matter. Dr. Murray did not kill Michael Jackson. They need a drip. But the problems with their theory persist.